Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you guys how I make this granola. I do probably a double batch every week. My husband, myself, and my mom all eat this for breakfast fairly regularly, almost every day. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to see here is I've got these organic old-fashioned oats, and I'm going to do 8 cups of oats for a double batch recipe because that gets us through about a week. So here's the gigantic bowl that I use because in order to get everything evenly coated, you do have to have a pretty large bowl, especially because I'm doing a double batch. The next thing to do is take the nuts that you'd like to use. Today I'm using almonds. I've also used cashews, and chop them up if they aren't already chopped. The next thing to do is add the pumpkin pie spice, and for this particular batch I have a chai flavored spice that I'm using. So any sort of a desserty spice that you have will work for this sort of a recipe generally. The next thing to do is add the coconut oil. Now, if you're on a diet where you're not supposed to have coconut oil, this recipe will probably not be great for you. However, I think coconut oil is generally good for a person in moderation, and so that is what I use. So I do a cup of coconut oil because I am doing a double batch. The next thing to add is the maple syrup and vanilla. As you can see, I don't measure my ingredients super specifically, so the recipe given below is more of a general guideline and not an exact science. Now take your cookie sheets and put some parchment paper on them. I even reuse the parchment paper so as to not let anything go to waste, and I spread my granola out onto it, and then I pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes. After about 15 minutes in the oven at 350, I pull the trays out and I add the cranberries and coconut flakes, unsweetened, and then I mix everything together. And I like my granola very piecey, so I like to make sure that I've separated it all out before I put it back in the oven for the remaining 5 minutes. You will want to keep an eye on the granola as it gets closer to the time to take it out. Once it starts to get that golden brown color, then it can be pulled from the oven. I have burnt batches before because I left them in a couple minutes too long, so you'll just want to make sure to keep an eye on it so that your granola doesn't burn. Once pulled from the oven, I mix everything around on the tray again just to ensure that my granola is not large clusters and clumps, but is very piecey. You can also mess around with adding other things to the granola at the end after it has cooled in order to make it more nutritious. I have added things like chia seeds, hemp seeds, and also antioxidant powders in small quantities in order to get more nutrition into my family with our normal daily consumption of this granola.